Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you from the Breath of the Wild Any Percent Tournament 2025 a winner's bracket round 1 matchup between Carter and Missano. I will pass it over to our commentator for this race, Cloud. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting Breath of the Wild Any Percent race we have coming up for you today between Carter and Missano. These are two young up-and-coming runners that have really taken great strides in their Any Percent times over the last couple months, and it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out between the two of them today. It looks like our runners are getting set up here, so we'll go ahead and get ready to start our race shortly. And as a reminder, this is still round 1 of the tournaments. We've got a lot more exciting races coming up shortly here. We've got, I think, 1 or 2 more today, and we're still taking a look at getting restreams for those. But it looks like our runners are just about to get started here. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are off. Now, if you've been around for any of these races, you know the drill. We've got about a minute of cutscene before we get into the actual run where time will officially start. So it gives us a bit of time to kind of chat for a bit. How's everybody doing today? Thank you all for coming out this morning / afternoon / evening, wherever you are, to support our wonderful runners. Now, in terms of what we can expect to see today, I imagine that both these runners will probably be going for somewhat safer and more consistent strats, at least to start out, over kind of the more riskier things. Now, they could prove me wrong for sure. But these are two runners that have kind of been working their way up the leaderboard by starting slow and kind of adding in strats as they go along. So we'll see what kind of things they're going for here today. Now, I believe Missano has the faster PP by, I want to say about a minute and a half. I'd have to check for sure. But with this run being as volatile as it is, it's really anyone's game. Especially towards the end when we get to the boss rush. Now, as we're off, I'm not sure if our runners are going to be doing amiibo or no amiibo. So I guess we'll see when we get there. And that will probably change some of the strats we see them go for, because with amiibo, you get the opportunity to scan for more backup food, which you normally will not in no amiibo. So starting off here, we're going to get our first trick of the run, the infamous Shrine of Resurrection clip. You can get a very fast clip here, as we saw from Carter right there, and Missano as well. Wow, very clean from both of our runners already, making it out in under 50 seconds. They'll be escaping from the starting room. Now, if you're not familiar with the run, we'll be going over some of these tricks as well. This is a trick you can do by sitting up against the wall and pulling out your scope, which will displace Link's model out of bounds. And that'll skip our long running section out the tunnel, and then also a couple minutes of cutscenes. And so now our runners are going to be making their way down to the Boko camp to grab a couple items here. Both grabbing backup peppers as well. So that kind of leads me to think they might be going for no amiibo, or they'll be going for a tough wind bomb inside a bomb. So we'll see how things shake out here. But our runners neck and neck, as you can see, working their way to the first of our 4 shrines bombs that will need to be completed today.
Dirigiti al luogo segnato sulla mappa della tua tavoletta sceicca.
And you'll notice that both runners are playing in French text with Italian voice acting. This is the fastest language combo for Breath of the Wild Any Percent, and this does change across categories. So Any Percent is unique in this combination amongst Breath of the Wild speedrun categories. Now we're going to see both of our runners going for a quick BLSS setup here. This bow lift smuggle slide will be a very fast movement method to make their way across the plateau, and our runners still neck and neck here. Okay, fall damage cancels from both of them. Clean clips. incredibly synced up gameplay, very clean entry splits from both runners. So inside bombs is where we might start to see things branch out a bit in terms of what strats they go for. There's a very tough wind bomb or trick you can go here for that we call gamer, where you can launch yourself from the starting area over here all the way to the end of the shrine, as opposed to a slightly slower but much easier where you just wind bomb halfway across and then slide across the rest of the way. The faster wind bomb saves about 8 seconds. So if any runner goes for that and hits it and the other doesn't, that'll be a decent bit of separation here. So let's see what our runners will be strategizing right here. And it looks like they're both going for the difficult gamer. And they both hit it. Wow, they got almost an identical launch angle as well. Very impressive how synced up they are. It is one of the hardest wind bombs in the run, so props to both of our runners for hitting that. 2 for 2 on gamer. So now as we're exiting the bomb shrine, we'll be working our way to Magnesis, shrine number 2. And it looks like Carter actually golded that split. Wow, very impressive. It's a bit of mashing through text here, so if we've got any donations, now would be a great time to turn it over to our host. No, I'm just kidding. But this is where many runners will scan Amiibo in our race here, because like I mentioned, it gives you access to backup food, and that's why we did see our runners go for those peppers, but neither of them needed it because they hit the wind bomb first try and got an optimal launch. But a very impressive start from both of our runners here. Almost no separation, as you can see, between the left and right half of your screen. And it looks like we will be doing no Amiibo. So the fact that both of them hit gamer will mean that they've got that backup food for later. If they miss other wind bombs or take extra cold damage or something, they'll be able to back that up a lot quicker. Now we're going to be setting up another shield clip into Magnesis Shrine. This one can be a bit finicky trying to get back and bounce the elevator, but still a very clean entry from both runners. This run has been neck and neck so far, and we're already about a quarter of the way through. So here inside the Magnesis Shrine, we can also potentially see another strat differentiation. There's a wind bomb you can do from the lower canal. That's the optimal one. There's one you can do from the upper. That's still faster than running through, but not quite as fast as the lower setup, but much easier. And then there's just simply running through and shield jumping over the gap, which is the slowest option, but the safest for sure. It's very hard to mess that up. Based on what I saw from our runners, I think they're proving me wrong. I think we're going to see people going for more riskier stuff here, depending on how they're feeling. It looks like they're both going for the upper canal setup. Very good choice. This is a great balance between safety and speed. And it looks like Missano messed up the jump timing a bit. A clean wind bomb from Carter, who will be now running to the monk terminal. And there is kind of our first separation of the run. Missano having to eat a couple peppers to potentially survive the fall. While we saw a little bit of separation there, it's barely anything, just a few seconds, and this race can still swing either way. There's a lot of time left to cover, but we are now halfway down the plateau and we'll be making our way to Stasis, the third shrine. This is going to require a long slide over a very lag-heavy area and a tight tunnel, so our runners are going to have to maneuver. Here's another place where we could see a lot of separation, and then they're going to have to perform a wind bomb off a tree. This launch can be pretty finicky as well. Some more potential to see some possible separation between our runners, or a chance for Missano to catch up with a clean slide. Very good camera control work there from Carter, steering around those rocks. Missano not quite getting the optimal sliding angle, but very good recovery. And they are once again neck and neck. It looks like Missano got slightly better loads and slightly faster acceleration on that slide, which has allowed them to catch up. Now here's our treat. Clean launches from both runners, wow. And once again, we are neck and neck between these two racers. Clean inbounds clip as well. Without entering stasis, try number 3. Similar to Magnesis, we could potentially see some strat separation here between the two runners. Probably the most common thing to go for would be the wind bomb from halfway across. Again, there's the you can just run through and shield jump over the gaps, or you can do a wind bomb from far back off the bridge, which is kind of the optimal one, the world record strat, if you will. And then there's the wind bomb you can do from about halfway across on the ledge. That's still quite fast, but much more consistent. Or much less precise, I should say. So we'll see what our runners go for here. Looks like Carter is opting to run through, while Missano's going for the wind bomb. Good bomb time, good bomb placement. Yeah, very clean wind bomb there for Missano. And we'll see just how much time this strat saves. Not quite as much as you might think, maybe about 5-6 seconds or so. And so Missano has widened that gap, but barely by any. I'm heading into cryo here, another tough movement section. So again, here's a strat here you can do where you wind bomb up the cliff, which saves about 7 or 8 seconds, but is quite difficult, as opposed to just doing a stasis launch on a boulder, which is very consistent and much simpler to do. And it looks like that's what Missano will be going for. And then from there, our runners are going to be bombing a tree stump to get a slide all the way to cryo, and then clipping in. And this clip is generally considered one of the tougher ones, assuming they go for the extended shield clip, which most runners do these days. Clean stasis launch from both. And we see Carter doing a shield jump there midair to clear skew to set up for the extended shield clip I mentioned we're about to see here coming up. Very tight lines on this slide for Missano. Looks like they've been showing off some exemplary BLSS today. And we can see Missano on the right setting up skew for ESC. This is a frame perfect trick where you have to unequip and then re-equip your shield to clip through 2 layers of walls. Oh, unfortunate. Kinda got a bit scammed there. Looks like actually Carter will be going for the normal clip, which is just a couple seconds slower, but supposedly more consistent. Third try for Missano is not bad at all. Second try normal clip from Carter as well. So that'll leave our runners, that'll give Missano a little bit more separation, but still not much. And we're heading into the end game pretty shortly here, where things can definitely shake out either way for our racers. But congrats to them so far for putting on a great plateau. Get it? Sorry, it's early in the morning, okay. Here, there's really not much strat deviation. It's just kind of a simple wind bomb up top, and then you either get a good bounce with very quick bomb placement. You can get a good bounce off the wall to land right in front of the cage where the mug is, or you land up top and then you can just run down. We saw Missano got a clean land up top, so they will be running down. And that'll finish off the 4 shrines. Bit unfortunate standing placement for Carter. He's gonna have to give that one another try. Unfortunate as well. So that'll be giving Missano a little bit more separation. But Carter's had a very clean plat so far, so they've got all those peppers still for backup food. Second try is not bad at all. Alright, so now for our racers, we're going to be heading to the Temple of Time to get the paraglider. So just one more slide and then our last fall damage cancel of the run. So we got the paraglider, we won't be needing that anymore. Decent step up from Missano there, giving them a pretty good launch in the direction of the Temple of Time. And this is one slide in particular where the world loads can be quite variable. And it's really easy to lose a lot of time just from the game not loading in fast enough. But a decent enough slide for Missano. And so since our runners are doing no amiibo, we're going to see a bit of a detour before heading straight to Castle. They're going to be heading out to the northwest to grab some razor shrooms to cook attack food for the boss rush. This is about 30 to 40 seconds slower, optimally compared to the amiibo route where you scan for attack food on plat. And the two slides, both to the shrooms and to Castle, can be a bit finicky. Clean step up from Missano. And like we said, Missano's got about a 30-second lead or so, but that can evaporate at any time. We're gonna have to come up on Castle in a second here, where we've got the chance for the gates to either load in or not, and that can depend on just some random factors or just the runner's approach. Unfortunate step up from Carter there. They're gonna have to run back up and try to set up the slide again. Many runners opt to do the step up from out of the window right there, as Missano saw, which is a bit quicker, but this one is a bit easier to actually get the step up off from up top here where we see Carter going. Looks like Missano's struggling a bit with the BLSS setup. I haven't seen this step up off the rock before. This is interesting for me to watch. But works well enough. As long as you can dodge those chews there, they can get quite annoying and be quite a time waster. If they hit you or get in the way of setting up your slide to Castle, it could be quite the nuisance. And there's a bit of a manip you can do just by the direction you're running in to kind of delay them from spawning just long enough for you to grab the shrooms and get out of there. Looks like Missano got the instant Castle cutscene. Unfortunate it loaded in so quick. That is a bit of time loss, but they still made it inside. So basically, there's this cutscene that plays where it kind of loads the map for Castle. And when you're sliding in from this angle on the no amiibo route, there seems to be a much higher chance you get that instant Castle cutscene. Now, if you can make it inside the gate before it loads, you're still not losing much time. I think it's around 5 to 10 seconds or so over not getting instant Castle cutscene, but you get an extra long load there because it triggered so early that the game's still loading in most of the assets around Castle. And now we'll see what Carter gets here. Also unloaded gate and no instant Castle cutscene, so that'll be a little bit of time recouped for them. Now we're gonna see the weapon routing. So the 5-6 part boss rush is quite intense. And the durability routing is planned out almost to the exact hit. So we're gonna see our runners going for a very specific weapon pickups as they work their way through Castle. And here's where we could also potentially see strats deviate. I believe Carter will be going for 6 Ancient Arrow. I'm not sure about Missano. There's a much faster route you can do for Castle where you clip out of bounds and Wind Bomb out of bounds, but then you also skip a second chest that has 3 Ancient Arrows, so it does slow you down just a tiny bit in the final fight and makes the final fight more difficult, but it saves time overall due to quicker traversal through Castle. It looks like Missano will be going for the slightly slower but safer 6 Ancient Arrow route as well. Very clean wind bomb, very clean dismount from Missano. This is our last weapon pickup here before we'll be heading to Sanctum for the boss rush. It's gonna fire an arrow here to bait the moblin away, so we can grab this bundle of 5 arrows, get in a sneak strike, get the edge of duality, and the Royal Guard spell from up top on the fireplace. And with that, just one more wind bomb left in the run for Missano before setting up Wind Blight Skip. Now the first boss, we can actually kill it as it loads in during the cutscene, as many of you may be familiar with. Very fun trick, but very precise, and when you're on pace in a race and trying to aim with the controller, if your hands are shaky, it can be a bit tough. I do know from experience. And again, heading into the boss rush here, whoever is ahead at the end of Calamity Ganon will likely be the winner of our race, but before that, all bets are off, because dying at any point in this boss rush will send you all the way back to the beginning, and you'll have to redo Wind Blight Skip, likely have to redo the Wind Bomb to Sanctum. Carter opting for the old Wind Bomb spot. Very interesting. Haven't seen this one in a while. It's just a couple seconds slower. It looks like that Wind Blight Skip is going to work for Missano. And we're going to see Carter doing a bit of a different setup, a normalized setup here with side hops and backflips to get into the correct position. Now what we're going to be seeing during the boss rush here is we're going to look for our runners trying to get in these double hits on the boss. So if you initiate a spin and then turn backwards immediately, you can get kind of 2 hits per spin there, which not only saves kind of those freeze frames when you hit the boss, but also allows you to get in a hit on the front side, so you can get in triple hits, which is just very quick. And it looks like Carter will be on to Water Blight as well. This race really is neck and neck. Both of them are fighting the same Blight at the same time, which we don't often see. We often see a lot more separation by this point. Looks like Missano opting for a slightly safer Water Blight strat, pulls it off flawlessly. Now onto Fire Blight, who can be one of the more finicky Blights of the run. He's got a chance to kind of attack early here, which can throw you off. And then for phase 2, there's a chance he can get up off the ground early once you stun him with a bomb, which can cause you to lose time as well. Carter now on to Fire Blight. Again, not far behind here. This race is shaping out to be very tight. And you'll see the bomb placement here in the standing position from Missano. This is generally pretty precise. You want to be able to launch him towards you so you can get off hits immediately, but then also be in a good standing position for getting these double hits on the body and arm. Oh, just barely, not enough stamina. So that'll be about 8 seconds time loss for Missano. If Carter can get a clean second phase here, this will bridge the gap quite a bit more between our 2 runners. Oh, see these quick spins here on Thunderblight. Oh, unfortunately, Carter's Fire Blight got up early, so even though the standing position looked pretty good, that was never gonna work. Just bad RNG there, unfortunate. But very quick recovery. Carter also getting the very tight Thunderblight phase 1 cycle cleanly. Now for Missano, it's all up to getting clean hits here. Well done, and just Calamity to go. If Missano can survive this fight and keep pace, they will likely be the winner of our race. So for the 6 Ancient Arrow strat here, the optimal thing we're going to see is unloading all 6 of these Ancient Arrows directly into his face for massive damage. Then we're going to run towards Calamity a bit and bait him into a slam. Or I guess Misano's going for a Flurry Rush. This is a bit slower, but much safer. It means you don't have to hit quite as many headshots. And so baiting Calamity into a slam there, allowing Missano the chance to run to the back wall and grab these bomb arrows to fire off headshots. Oh, very quick recovery there. Kind of Z-targeted in the wrong direction. Now going for a laser parry. Clean, clean, clean. That's probably one of the hardest parts of the run right there. Just getting that A press. And looks like Carter will be skipping the Flurry Rush, so this is more potential for them to gain some ground. Unfortunately, Misano's Calamity went to the wall, which will be a slowdown. In phase 1, it's super tough because he sends out a lot of attacks that you can't parry or do anything with. And Missano dropped their extra bow earlier, which some runners keep. Oh, unfortunately ran right into the tornado. So that'll give Carter our lead. If Carter can pull this off, then they will have won the race. A clean phase 1 from Carter there, by the way. Very unfortunate, clean run so far. And again, this is an incredibly difficult part of the run. Our runners are still making this look easy. So there's no shame at all in dying to Calamity.
Wow. Okay.
But you definitely want to keep going here. As grim as things may seem, you don't want to give up because your opponent could also falter in Calamity, giving you the lead back. We saw Carter's Calamity also went to the wall, but they got off a very clean parry there. That's the scary one. Those laser blasts. Those always freak me out. And Carter will be setting up the stun lock here. For here, you just want to very carefully manage your stamina and get in as many hits as possible. Looking for those triple hits. And then slamming right as Calamity starts to rise up to induce him right back into another stun lock. Very clean hits from Carter here. Excellent Calamity all around. And that'll do it for Carter. Putting them into Dark Beast, and barring any Dark Beast incident, we'll put them squarely as the winner of our race. And on Dark Beast here, it's basically an auto-scroller that lasts about 2.5 minutes. But you can squeeze out a little bit of time here and there by listening to the audio cues of the soundtrack in the background to know when to pre-fire on these weak points that Zelda will bring up. And I'll avoid saying anything about dying in Dark Beast to avoid the commentator curse. Very unfortunate mishap from Missano in Water Blight. It looks like they will not be giving this one another go. It looks like Missano has forfeited the race. So let's turn our attention over to Carter.
Okay, pretty fine.
Tu l'as blessé. Continue comme ça.
Did he like die in boss rush maybe? That sucks if that happens.
So just one last belly shot here, and then the final weak point will appear for Carter to hit. Missed the shot. Tiny time loss, but doesn't matter too much. And it looks like we'll be seeing a first place finish in our race here by Carter.
Wait, is this PB?
No, I should have had the bracket up. And there we have it. Congrats to Carter on an incredible run. Very clean finish, and it looks like that might have been a PB for them.
PB.
So very congratulations. And again, they both kept it very close throughout the entire thing. Just an unfortunate mishap in boss rush, which can happen to anybody. No harm, no foul. Huge congrats to Missano, huge congrats to Carter for finishing off an incredibly exciting and close race there. Now looking at the bracket here, going into round 2, it looks like Carter will be facing off against Arna in the next round. That'll be another exciting matchup. And in terms of the rest of our day, we've got a couple more events coming up, a couple more races today. And a bit here, we've got Crazy AZ versus Collabs. This should be another fun matchup, and I believe this one is... This will be one of our final round 1 matchups, and then later today we've also got Frozen versus Cow. Another good matchup there. So looks like we're trying to pull in some of our runners for an interview in just a moment here. Bear with us shortly. So, yep, it looks like our matchup with Klebs and Crazy will be in about 45 minutes. And I believe that'll be on ZSR2, at least for now. Looks like you got Carter in the waiting room, ready to pull them in for an interview in just a second here. Hello, Carter. Welcome, welcome. Congrats on an incredible race finish. How are you feeling? Oh, wait.
I think Carter is trying to get their mic straightened up.
Okay. We'll hold off on that interview for just 1 second. Sit tight, folks. As we wait to hear from the victor of our race today, Carter, welcome, welcome in. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I just PB'd by 4 seconds, so I'm really happy with that.
Congratulations. Is your PB an amiibo or a no amiibo scan?
It's no amiibo.
Okay, gotcha. So that's legit PB then.
It
Congratulations.
is, yeah. Thank you.
So walk me through kind of what you were thinking. What was going through your mind in terms of the strats you wanted to go for? We saw both you guys hit Gamer at the beginning and bombs. That was incredible. You guys were neck and neck for almost the entire run.
Yeah.
How did you kind of manage your nerves?
Well, I was a bit nervous throughout the whole thing, but I just I got up a little bit and stretched some. Just I told myself that it's just a game and it's not that big of a deal if I failed or anything like that. And I went for all the safe strats, so I knew that I was going to finish no matter what.
Very good mentality, and it seems to have paid off. Very clean Calamity fight as well. It definitely shows that you've been practicing the boss rush quite a bit.
Yes, I have.
Well,
Hate that boss rush.
congratulations. So it looks like for our next matchup, you'll be facing off against Arna. How are you feeling about that race upcoming for round 2?
I'm not very confident because Arna is very good, and I started speedrunning 3 months ago. So, we'll see, but not too confident.
Well, based on your performance today, I think you have every reason in the world to be as confident as possible. So we'll look forward to that match coming up. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we sign off for now?
I don't think so. But thank you for the interview, and thank you for everything.
Of course. Thanks for joining us, and congrats again on your win. And we'll turn it back over to VT, our restreamer.
Yes, definitely want to Give thanks to Carter and Missano for the race they put on today. Also want to thank our commentator Cloud for stepping in to commentate. As we did say, we do have Klebs versus Crazy AZ in about 40 minutes. We'll be actually on ZSR main right here. So we'll kick you over to one of the other ZSR channels doing races right now. Let me see what we have going on. We'll probably send you over to a Wind Waker randomizer tournament race going on, but don't go too far away because, like I said, in about 40 minutes, right back here will be Klebs versus Crazy AZ. Other than that, thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you shortly. Bye-bye.